welcome to the second installment of Woman Crush Winesday, a monthly series where I drink wine and talk about the women I like. This month, I'm discussing Queen Nzinga, who was chosen by you, the viewers, but also by me because you guys left me a tie in every single poll I posted. So thanks for that. Queen Nzinga was born in 1583 in what is now Angola. Her father, Ngola Kiasamba, was the king of then Ndongo, and her mother was not his wife. Nzinga had 3 siblings, 2 sisters, and an older brother who was also illegitimate. Queen Nzinga herself was born with her umbilical cord wrapped around her neck, which in Mbundu culture meant that she was going to be strong and determined when she grew up. A wise woman also told her mother that she would one day be queen, and I think by now we all know that she wasn't wrong. She was apparently favored by her father because he gave her what basically amounts to leadership training over her siblings. Kiasamba was overthrown sometime in the 1610s because he was a straight-up dictator. His aforementioned illegitimate son, Mbundi, stepped into the role of leader, and Nzinga was forced into exile because she was a threat to his throne. However, by most accounts, Mbundi wasn't strong-willed or really meant to be a leader at all. He called Nzinga back to Angola in 1617 to negotiate with the Portuguese who were trying to set up a slave trade, so in 1622, Mbundi had Nzinga negotiate with the Portuguese for Angolan independence because she was clearly the more suitable choice to make sure that her country got what it needed out of a peace treaty with Europeans. When she arrived to the meeting, the Portuguese ambassador refused to offer her a seat and instead placed a mat on the floor for her to sit on, probably knowing full well that in Mbundu culture, that was a place for subservience. So, like the queen that she would soon come to be, Nzinga refused to sit on the mat and instead had one of her servants get on all fours and she sat on them for the duration of the meeting. There are rumors without much backing that say that she slit the throat of the servant after she was done sitting on them. These rumors also state that she told the Portuguese that she never sits in the same chair twice. But like I said, there isn't much evidence to prove these rumors that could very well be steeped in racist perspectives meant to degrade Nzinga. Possibly to strengthen the peace treaty that she had just negotiated, Nzinga was baptized in Luanda in 1622. She took the name Dona Ana de Sousa, which is why she's commonly known as Queen Anne Nzinga. However, the Portuguese must have just forgotten what kind of woman they were dealing with because they continued to attack Angola for slaves. It might be important to understand that the slave trade was in fact a trade, but Mbundi and Nzinga refused to allow the Portuguese to have Angolan slaves for their trade. In the wake of the attacks and the impasse of peace, Mbundi killed himself, although there are rumors that Nzinga poisoned him to take his throne. I don't know why she would have waited so long to do it, though. It's also said that she killed his son when she was made regent, but that's the only narrative surrounding her almost immediate promotion from regent to queen. Basically, from the second she took power, Nzinga was opposed by groups within her own people. Many Mbundu people believe that because Nzinga's mother was not her father's wife, she didn't really have any claim to be queen at all. And then there are people like Rainha de Angola who thought that women shouldn't rule in general. Hari swore fealty to the Portuguese, and with their help, he was able to drive Nzinga off the throne and into exile again. The Portuguese put Nzinga's sister Kifunji into power without realizing that she was a loyal spy to her sister the entire time. These ladies are just way too much for colonialism to handle. And just around the corner in Matamba, Nzinga was able to gain allies and power through the formation of a guerrilla military. She was also offering safety to refugees of the slave trade. In 1641, the Dutch seized Luanda, where the Portuguese were based. Nzinga aligned herself with the Dutch, and at first the alliance proved successful. They were able to defeat the Portuguese army at Angolame in 1644, but were unfortunately unable to follow up that success. The Portuguese kidnapped Nzinga's other sister, found out that they were all passing important Portuguese intel to each other, and then possibly drowned the one sister that they thought was a traitor. For 35 years, Nzinga was consistently at war with the Portuguese. Even well into her 60s, Queen Nzinga went to battle herself, and she's said to have had many female warriors in her army as well. What a badass. In 1657, a much older Nzinga decided that she was tired of fighting. She attempted to make another peace treaty with the Portuguese, which was successful. She reconverted to Christianity, introduced churches to her country, resettled former slaves, and died peacefully at the age of 80 on December 17, 1663. In a perfect world, African history would be taught honestly and truthfully. We would all know about Queen Nzinga without some white girl from the internet telling you about her because of her political strides as queen. I really don't want to be the only person on the internet that you go to for information about this woman, because I don't know as much about her as other people do, and I'm not an expert on Queen Nzinga, and I never will be, and I don't need to be. So I encourage you to find people that are, and I'm going to leave as many links to videos and articles that I can about her, so check out the description box for that, and go learn about her, because honestly, she's super interesting and so important to Angolan history. What I really love about Nzinga is that not only was she an awesome person to begin with, but she was a fantastic warrior, a really great queen, and a champion of women. Thank you so much for watching this Woman Crush Wednesday. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Remember to check the cards in this video to vote for who you'd like me to talk about on the next Woman Crush Wednesday. However, I will say that the next Woman Crush Wednesday will be themed, so the 3 women that you will have to choose from are connected somehow, and if you can figure that out before the video goes up, more power to you. Sarah and I will be doing an entire themed month at September. Every week our videos will fit into a theme, so stick around. And that being said, Sarah's video will be uploaded next Thursday instead of Wednesday, even though her videos never go up on Wednesday. But it's because September 1st is on a Thursday and not a Wednesday. In the comments below, let me know what I missed out on Queen Nzinga, because I know that there's a lot of really intricate details in her history. I couldn't put all of them into a very short video. If you have any other suggestions for who you'd like me to put on my list for Woman Crush Wednesday, feel free to leave those below as well. If you're not already subscribed to The Princess and the Scrivener, please do so down below, especially if you'd like to keep watching more videos on Disney, feminism, pop culture critiques, and of course, Woman Crush Wednesday. The Scrivener will see you next Thursday. I can see my cheeks getting red. Please don't worry about me. This is normal, it just didn't happen in the last video, and I'm not sure why. I don't want to be the only person on the internet that